Since the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi, a lot of fans around the world have wanted change within the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, since The Last Jedi, a lot of people have been very upset with how the sequel trilogy is going and the path that it's actually going toward Episode 9. Now, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams and crew, are examining Episode 9 and looking at it as a course correction technique after the Solo Star Wars story box office results. And a lot of people have been wondering exactly what is J.J. Abrams' plan, what is Disney's plan on really putting together the sequel trilogy once again to have it really resonate with fans everywhere around the globe. So we do know that they are going to have Episode 9 as a way of changing certain elements of The Last Jedi, which is a great thing. But when it comes to J.J. Abrams' overall plan, this all has to do by combining all 9 movies together into one big movie, while also applying lots of fan service and nostalgia. Lando Calrissian was also another plan by bringing back a returning legacy character in order to get people to fill in the seats at the theaters as well, since Carrie is gone and only so much unused footage can be used for the character. Now, the film will have twists and turns that apparently will reflect on how fans perceive The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It's said that it's going to be on an Avengers Infinity War level of chaos in this film, and apparently they actually took note of certain elements from Marvel's successes. So with that being said, alright, this also does line directly up with what John Boyega had said a couple of months ago, that this movie is going to be an all-out war and the war to end all wars. Also, the fact that this movie is going to have the most planets, the most characters out of every single Star Wars movie to date. We can tell that this movie is really going to go out with a bang. Especially some of our characters will, I'm sure. So looking at everything here, we do know that Episode 9, Disney and Lucasfilm, there are a lot of stakes right now at hand for the sequel trilogy. I think that they really have to get it 100% here in order to really gain the trust of some of the disappointed fans with The Last Jedi. And that's one thing. I feel that Disney and Lucasfilm, they don't necessarily see the fact that it's the hardcore fans primarily that see these movies 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And that really does generate a lot of revenue for them. It really does build up. Let's say, for example, if you have like 100,000, maybe even more than that, let's say 300,000 real hardcore Star Wars fans that see these movies repeatedly, you know, on and off, on and off, on and off. That actually does add up. If it's like, you know, $14, $15 a ticket, some places it's 11 to 12, it's a lot of money, you know, people seeing that repeatedly. It does add up. So I think that Disney finally recognizes that after Solo: A Star Wars Story's box office didn't do too well because, well, a lot of the hardcore fans, I'm not saying that some casual viewers were not disappointed with The Last Jedi, they were, but a lot of hardcore fans were very disappointed with Solo: A Star Wars Story and decided to not go ahead and see Solo: A Star Wars Story after being so fed up with The Last Jedi. Those, I think, were a lot of the hardcore fans who see the movies repeatedly. Now, I myself, when I went to go ahead and see Solo, there was nobody in my theater. Barely anybody. There was like 10 people. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, what's going on here? But I digress. When it comes to Episode 9, the use of nostalgia and fan service and combining all 9 movies into one film, bringing back Lando Calrissian, a legacy character, in order to fill in the seats there, and also examining Marvel's successes and how this movie is going to have an Infinity War, you know, esque style of chaos in this movie that lines up with John Boyega said. I think that this movie is most definitely going to have some very similar elements to that of Avengers Infinity War. I think it's going to be chaos, you're going to see a lot of sacrifices, a lot of death, and that's the one thing that I think a lot of fans are concerned about. Are they going to kill off Leia, Chewbacca the droids, Lando Calrissian? You know, is Disney going to do that? Will they have, you know, the actual confidence in doing so, of killing off such iconic characters after killing off Han Solo, which I know a lot of people did not agree with how he died. The same goes with Luke Skywalker, and now next up on the list is Lando Calrissian and General Leia. Now, if you had to ask me, I don't think they're going to kill off Leia. I think that they're not even going to touch her They're just going to leave her be, give her a walk off into the sunset type of ending, kind of like how they did with Paul Walker as Brian O'Connor in the Fast and Furious films. That's what I think they're going to do with Leia. I just feel that, because it feels like it would be too sensitive of like a thing to kill her off when Carrie Fisher actually passed away in reality. So with Episode 9, I think that Lando Calrissian is at more risk of death than Leia in Episode 9. Same goes for Chewbacca as well. So, looking at everything here for Episode 9, do you guys think that the mixture of fan service, nostalgia, bringing back Lando Calrissian as a legacy character, examining Marvel's successes and how this movie may very well be on an Infinity War level of chaos, is this enough to fix the sequel trilogy, and how this film will make us perceive The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi differently? Is this enough to fix the sequel trilogy for a lot of hardcore fans and casual fans around the world? I would really love to hear your input about all of this below in the comments section, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.